Wouldn't it be great if everyone in Louisville felt safe and supported? In reality, certain neighborhoods experience violence at higher levels than others. The city's Office for Safe and Healthy Neighborhoods and its partners are working to address the root causes of violence so we can all live in a safe city. Welcome to this episode of the 502 Report. The city's Office for Safe and Healthy Neighborhoods has been operating now for 5 years. In that time, they've learned more about the patterns of violence in our community, and more important, how to disrupt them.
Those are just homicides over the past 4 years. I think many of the underlying causes of violence really have to be understood. When we think about concentrated poverty, educational disparities, or lack of green space or fresh food opportunities, historic policies like redlining that segregated our community, violence is a symptom of these things. We talk a lot about violence being a public health issue. So it means that violence spreads like the flu. When one person's impacted by violence, they have a network, whether it's family or friends, that are also affected. And so it begins to spread in that way. And if there are public health approaches to address the flu, then there ought to be public health approaches to address violence, and there are. One step is that you get really clear on the data in your city around violence. Who's impacted by violence predominantly? Where is violence being concentrated? What are your age ranges? What's your demography? The other part of it is, how do you decrease the risk? For the flu, you get a flu shot. And for violence, you got to get a mentor in somebody's life. You got to make sure they have economic opportunities. You got to make sure they have educational opportunities. These are the things that reduce the risk that a person will be impacted. The next step is you have to test a strategy and you figure out, are you seeing some good results? For example, pivot to peace. You've got folks who are working at the hospital with people who are injured and really working with them to ensure that they don't return to the hospital with an additional injury. So they're doing case management and other forms of support. Pivot to Peace has a 95% success rate. Given the success rate of Pivot to Peace, we should make sure it's at scale at our Trauma One hospital, and then we should make sure it's accessible to all hospitals. It is daunting because part of it is thinking about those individual level and interpersonal level dynamics, but then what about my neighborhood and my community and society at large, or institutions? So although it's a broad challenge, I think there are these very specific ways that we can engage it and demonstrate some really great outcomes. Neighborhoods don't have to experience concentrated violence. It doesn't have to be that way. Everybody deserves a safe neighborhood. Our goals are very much related to developing action plans that are engaging multiple parts of our city. And a lot of our goals focus around youth development, interrupting violence before it happens, supporting civic engagement, and also supporting individuals who are returning to society. A lot of our work is really sort of inclusive of everyone. This isn't a challenge that we can tackle alone, and so how does everyone see themselves in the work, and how does everyone find a way to be the one so that they can really make a difference?
People of all ages experience violence in our community. Here are some thoughts from some younger Louisvillians.
I live in Fern Creek.
In the Dixie neighborhood. Oklahoma right by Southern High School.
I'm 11 years old.
I'm 17.
And I am 13.
Go read books or go play with my friends when I have free time.
I like to go to Man's Lake Roller Dome.
Mostly like ride my bike on the street.
I've seen two kids carrying guns. They're like teenagers.
There's always police rolling up and down the street, no matter what time of day it is.
One man was shot dead, and it was right in front of our parking lot. It was pretty sad and unfortunate to see.
Sometimes some drug dealing, sometimes shooting.
People, they just kill people that they don't know. And that's just sad.
That's what I'm scared of, if that's gonna happen to me one day.
I would like to change the things that are bad things happening and change it to good things.
They want me around people who would show me ways I could be successful.
On football games, we go and clean off the field, and over the bleachers. At kickball games, we do that too.
I see that like most of us were like not involved with our community, and I think that would be a big step.
I think we need a bit more exercising things to help kids get out and play.
If we could improve the way we live, then eventually we improve our lives and not as many people will be hurt or unsafe.
I like to be a police officer. I care about my neighborhood and care about other ones, and I want to stop the bad things that are happening in Louisville.
I want to be a doctor because I get to help people.
I want to be an architect when I grow up, so if anything, I would just buy that property and rebuild it from the bottom up. I am hopeful for the future, I am.
Not only is it a beautiful place in like certain areas, but most of the places you'll go to is like an amazing experience that you won't get nowhere else.
I'd rather live here than any other place.
If people just learn to love one another, set aside any transgressions, and just really become like one as a city.
With the support of Safe and Healthy Neighborhoods, this group of teens is bringing awareness to the issues around violence that matter most to them.
This is a good idea too.
It's an amazing opportunity to be part of something like this.
But everybody got a chance to write on the boards?
Today we were talking about how to basically resolve violence in the community and how to make the community better.
A real brief report out and just see what we got up here. Support safety.
I think everyone here was really motivated and excited.
Coming together in flash mobs. Okay, that's ambitious. I like that.
People are ready for a change, and I think that people are wanting to be a part of that.
We would like for you all to think about some additional policy areas.
We know that nothing great happens individually, greatness happens collectively.
So whatever it takes, we'll do.
That's why we partnered up with the Power Coalition, Pact in Action, PSED, get connected to their youth, and so that we can all be on the same page about Youth Violence Prevention Week. But not only that, but youth violence prevention in the city of Louisville going forward.
Any kind of violence like bullying and racism and all that stuff, that's what's most important to me.
How do you feel like raising self-love and self-esteem with young people will help prevent violence?
I think the teens here really were focused on what's going to make our city better, what's going to make us be represented, and what needs to be done.
Letting us know like how it's really a struggle to be what they are.
Their voices matter. They're dealing with violence in some ways that some of us older folks were not dealing with the advent of the internet and social media.
And just having those difficult conversations around skin color and race and class.
I didn't know what it meant to be socially conscious, and once I was opened up to how many other people were. I just found my passion of helping others, trying to motivate other people to make a change, trying to figure out what's best for our city, and going from there.
They're the future, and the future is right now. So if we empower them to lead right away, they won't be fearful. They'll have experience when it comes time for them to really lead our city.
So respecting others starts with what? Respecting yourself.
Once you're in spaces like this, then you are able to really see, wow, people care. And being able to see that other people care really helps you to care.
Immediate next steps, we'll work through these topics.
It went really well, and that everyone is excited to see what's going to come of it.
To work on Youth Violence Prevention Week plans.
Youth Violence Prevention Week is a national event that'll take place March 19th to the 23rd throughout Louisville. Luther Brown lost his young grandson to a stray bullet, and now he's working tirelessly to help kids and their families from going through what he did.
I think most of you all know my story that is in the room about Baby Dre. He was shot and killed by a man dropping a gun. When that picture right there was taken, it was about a month before Baby Dre was deceased. He left us way too soon. What Little Hands, Little Feet is mainly, and our real focus is to educate the parent, but through the child. Sometimes when you see your child learning something and having fun of learning something that is life-saving.
Self-discipline controls the mind, body, harmony, and others, represents the community.
Good change. Kids have fun in our program. They love what they do, and they take it home. So we not only get parents, we get grandmothers, uncles, aunties, and they all become aware about the seriousness of the gun.
It starts with us. It starts in our neighborhoods. Our neighborhoods are the way that they are because we do nothing about it. But if you speak up and let your voice be heard and open your ears and let new information come in, then you can kind of, as they say, nip it in the bud.
You can only do your part.
Yes, sir.
But to make your part much greater by having multi-sectional partners.
Now, did you get to practice on this?
Yes. Oh, she knows what she's doing.
Yes, she does.
Oh my God.
Because it teaches us by having law enforcement, emergency services, ATF, the University of Louisville, these people deal with the gun. So let's get all of us together and let's create a new vision of looking at the gun.
The ATF is involved obviously in criminal enforcement and regulatory enforcement regarding firearms, but we're also involved in various community activities such as Little Hands, Little Feet, where we're working with the community members to try to talk with children about gun safety, what they should be doing if they come across firearms in their home and other homes or on the street. Also discuss how to handle conflicts, resist gangs, drug activity.
I don't want to be the loose link that does not have the knowledge required to give somebody else a few more hours, a few more days, a few more years of life.
I'm going to tighten this.
Doing something different from what we've done before is our vision, the Little Hands, Little Feet. That's what we visualize.
This is a we program, this is a we life, and together we're stronger than we are separate.
Get your babies into our program, the Little Hands, Little Feet. It is a very educational program that will go on, and the learning that they get will last them a lifetime.
A partnership between Metro Parks and nonprofit group AMPed is giving kids valuable music industry skills while also energizing community centers.
When people walk through our door, they've got the ability to do what they need to do. They just don't have the stuff to do it with. We just provide resources and love and care. I mean, I tell every kid that walks in the door, I love you. And I don't even have to think twice about that. That's what comes out of my mouth. That's what's real. That's the reason we do what we do. So AMPed is about raising young people up to be healthy, productive citizens.
We worked with AMPed, started a couple years ago, where they were looking for some space to operate. They had already been in one location, needed to relocate.
Came like cinnamon, so sweet. Little girls double dutch on the concrete.
So we were just having some conversation, and then it sort of came up like, we have a senior center, we have a Flag J Senior Center on Greenwood. Building was a little bit underutilized. AMPed has really taken over and made that place blossom.
AMPed is the Academy of Music Production, Education, and Development. We take young people 8 to 17 years old, and we teach them everything from guitar, piano, drums, music theory, videography, photography, all those kind of things.
Check out my resume. I'm shining just like the
Because the idea is, if you're interested in music or interested in this, we want you to learn everything you can about what it is you say that you want to do. We're trying to train you or get the kids ready to be able to take care of themselves with whatever trade. So for example, if a young person learns how to do mixing and recording or engineering, then one of our local musicians comes in and wants to record, we may bring our young people in here to actually do the recording for them. And they'll get paid to do that, as well as like if you learn how to play an instrument and somebody needs somebody to play in a band or to do a show, which we get called for quite a bit. We get called to do shows, and the kids actually get paid for those shows. And we discovered quickly, after doing that, as we went along, was that, we can't just look at the kids, we have to look at the families too. And so that's why it's become a family program. So it started out as a youth program, and it still is a youth program, but it focuses on the family as well. We received a grant last year. The National Center for Families Learning, the idea behind that is, number one, that the parent become the child's primary teacher. And so they have the 3 different components of the National Center for Families Learning program, and that's parent time, which is where we give them soft skills for job creation. We give them parenting tips. We talk about budgeting, home buying, and all these kind of things that they may or may not have heard about, but things that we know are important for them to learn. And then they spend 2 hours with their child. In the basement here, we have child care. We have Play Cousins Collective, who takes care of the kids. They do an educational program with them. They also have to do a community service project, 2 community service projects during the course of their cohort, where they'll go out and they'll give back to the community. And they come up with that idea. The last component of it is the skill building. And we chose to teach our students technology because we know that there's a great demand for technology, and also technology pays a living wage or above a living wage. And the whole idea is to raise these families necessarily from poverty or low income to being able to take care of themselves. People tend to want to vilify the kids and their parents. If we can dispel that myth, the dominant narrative that, you know, daddy's in jail, mama's on crack, and these kids are just bad, then we could begin to solve the problem because we care enough to solve the problem.
So Shelby Park had been a bit of a challenge for us with programming. And so an opportunity came up. We had the building shut down for a little while to do some renovations. And it was like, well, what would be a good use for this facility? So approached Dave and said, hey, would you be interested in expanding?
We know that the goal is to help families, to help kids, to help, you know, the community. So we partner in a lot of ways with a lot of folks to get done what we need to get done. For example, with our partnership with Metro Parks in getting this building, they called me up one day and they said, hey, would you be interested in, you know, taking over another one of our buildings? Because this is actually second building that we have.
So it was really a perfect marriage where you have an underutilized public space run by Parks and Recreation, and now we have another youth organization in there doing great work.
You know, we take these young people and tell them at an early age, you've got power. That you can make a change, you can be, you know, and then when people show up and spend time to get them to that place, and they see that validates the value that they have. And that's the thing, is to get them to understand how much value they have, and that they can do anything that they want to do.
If you have music production skills or are interested in being a mentor, call 822-1953. High schools have always covered the basics, but now a new program through JCPS is encouraging students to think ahead.
I toured the medical building when I was a middle schooler here, and I was completely astonished by what I saw. You don't expect to see students in scrubs when you walk in, so I was like, Mom, I need to go here. And here I am. And it has been great. I've dissected sheep hearts, I've dissected kidneys, eyeballs. So this is our Project Lead the Way classroom. This is where we do most of the dissections. As of right now, I'm looking to be a cardiologist or a cardiac surgeon. Initially, I was like, ooh, blood. And now that I've been exposed to it, I'm like, oh, this isn't so bad. It's like red water. Although everything has its own function and own part to play, it's just amazing to me that it can all come together to get you to like move your arm or spin in a circle, or your blood flows without you even knowing, or without you even having to tell your brain to make it like your heart pump. That's amazing to me. If you would have shown me this, I probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference between the heart and the stomach until now.
All right, so let's talk about these stick electrodes. Alondra's going to give you a demonstration on the 7018 electrode. So we want to keep that as close as we can.
Personally, I wasn't into medical or business, not numbers or people, so, you know, I tried the engineering side because, you know, I thought it's more hands-on, more crafty. It's very hands-on, and I got to grind something and weld something and cut metal, and it was really fun. The fact that you're building something with your own hands and that you're making it yourself, with the teacher over your shoulder being like, yeah, that's really good what you're doing, and like suggest better things for you to do, it makes you feel proud of yourself.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut this tubing with that machine.
People need welders, people need medicals, people need business people. All these career paths, whether you choose it throughout your whole life or not, it's always something you have behind you in case anything else fails.
First off, we try to let students know they need to find a passion with a career. Find something that you're interested in. It doesn't have to be your final ultimate career, but something that you think that you would at least want to do or try or experience here in high school and maybe shortly after high school.
The Academies of Louisville is a new system that we've put in place where we have basically taken industry, taken the needs of our community, and we've created smaller learning communities within our schools to focus on those needs.
Once they have come out of the freshman year, every student is wall to wall in a pathway.
The beauty of that is they're able to be in a class that they want to be in, the content that they want to explore.
What have we found so far? Did you find its trachea?
We did.
One thing colleges and employers always say is that kids are kind of stuck in a path where they know how to solve problems they've already seen, but not necessarily something they've never seen before. And all of this hands-on academy type stuff gives them a chance to really see a novel problem that isn't out of a textbook.
So what can we do? What can I do to collaborate with the CAD program? what can I do to collaborate with the math program, which are all things that we need in our industry.
Middle school, I didn't know what I was going to do. I thought, I'm going to do high school, I'm going to graduate, and then we'll see what goes on from there. And now that they've implemented these academies and these careers, I feel like they push me into something that I could do with my life. It benefits everyone, whether it be the company, the teacher, the students, because the students are learning a skill they can use on in their life, and because they already know it, they can go out of high school, get into a job, and then the teacher feels proud also because their kid is going on to somewhere important.
This is what has made my high school experience the best because it has opened so many doors for me. I feel like now I am actually ready to go into like a healthcare setting. I feel like I just have so much more that I can learn. What if you're not into healthcare? Having those other opportunities, they can go and work and get that experience in something they actually enjoy. So then maybe it's not work to them, it's what they really want to do.
And the promise for every student who graduates from the academies of Louisville, that they'll have had hands-on experience in their field through Kentuckiana Works Summer Works program.
We've got one of the largest numbers enrolled in Mayor's Summer Works for this coming year. 268 students currently, and we have a few more that still want to join in. People are beginning to realize that they are getting the reliability, the accountability they need to be a decent employee.
If you know someone between the ages of 16 and 21 interested in a summer job, go to www.summerworks.org/sign up to apply. The deadline is May 1st. Kentuckiana Works staff also provides mentoring, job training, and information to young people looking for a second chance through the Reimage program.
Reimage is a program where we work with young people who have been court involved or may have made some choices in some of the at-risk areas that they live in. They come from circumstances where they've seen a lot of violence. They're coming to us with sort of a crisis mentality, or coming to us and saying, hey, I'm just lost, I need direction.
Mr. Galen, he's been there since day one. He talks to me about outside issues. He's here to help. And he's a strong guy. And he's a good guy.
We try to get them back on track and move them forward.
So everybody got a handout. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about how to effectively complain or how to bring up an issue in your workplace. So when someone comes to you with a complaint or with an issue, that's how you respond and you actively listen to them.
The young people in the program are ending up being our best referral source. Philip came to me kind of in a position where he was trying to figure out the direction he wanted to go in.
I see my life going down a path of destruction. I was having issues with employment and I needed an avenue that could help me out. I was just seeking help.
And I've been able to see him work himself into something that we have that's part of the Kentucky Youth Career Center called the Internship Academy program.
A program is helping build my resume so I can, have something to show at these jobs.
So Phil's been able to go into a field where, about 2 years ago, he told me he would like to, be part of like community activism, social justice, and, real sharp guy. He didn't know that there was an avenue like that.
He gave me good advice and powerful advice. I may come to Galen, hey Galen, I need help. What should I do? This program has helped in a major way. Reimage has all type of resources. From jobs to education. I would say get involved and stick with it and take advantage. I feel like I'm a part of something. Everyone in this program, deep down inside, they want to help someone. It's a great program.
Reimage needs more adult mentors to support young people like Philip. If you're interested in helping out, call 574-4115. Becoming a foster parent is another great way to offer support to a young person in need.
Every case is so different, but we have to look at what's in the best interest of the child. Tonight is one of our information meetings for potential foster and adoptive homes. We'll get you pointed in the right direction for resources for that. People come and hear just an overview of our agency, kids in care, and the process. You will be like a little checklist. Every month it seems to be our numbers are increasing statewide and here locally in our own Jefferson County. Our families and our children are hurting. And if there's not a relative or if someone that's like a relative, a friend that can help the child in need, then they come into our care. And so we'll have to find a safe place for them. You're going to be caring for children who have a trauma background, while we work with the caregivers to try to reunify. That's our ultimate goal, to reunify families. But if that's not possible for whatever reason, then we will work with families and children to find a permanent home for that child. It's all based on what the court orders are. We follow those no matter what. Our foster parents that seem to enjoy doing this, they're very open to the process. They have a natural love for children, being around children. They get a lot of energy being around the kids. They have a lot of energy for the kids and just a need and a desire to help out.
If you're a family in the Louisville area looking to open your home to a foster kid or children, call 595-KIDS to start the process. Healthy Start is looking to support new dads through discussion groups and events like this one called The Drop.
If you could sign in.
Moms get all the attention when they're pregnant and after the baby's born. Usually fathers are left out. So we want to celebrate fathers and give them the information that they need, resources that they need, and let them know that they're also important. Fathers play a very unique role in the lives of children even before they're born. From the time they are in utero until they are adults, they play a role in their success. So it's important that they have the education that they need.
We're going to start off with a presentation from Mary Jolly.
The resources that they need, because they need to know what to expect.
Classes often involve good information and giveaways like car seats. Call 574-5275. The Office for Safe and Healthy Neighborhoods believes we all have the skills to change the story of violence in our community. We just might need a little help to learn how.
We're just excited to have everybody here.
Nice to meet you, darling.
We want to give the power to the community to make a change.
Concerned with the Russell community as a whole.
A lot of folks have no idea what they're capable of doing.
Today we have the Ambassador Institute. It's a free training that we offer to any community resident that is interested in making a positive change in their community. It's a call to action through our One Love Louisville initiative.
Hey, what are you doing? Hey, don't do that.
They're learning training in all kinds of areas, bystander training, conflict resolution.
Yes, ma'am.
If they say they're going to do it, they're probably going to do it. So you probably need to stop them.
Mental health first aid.
I have really, within the last year, just really kind of became concerned as far as how my neighborhood is growing, that it's not growing. We have violence in my community, so what ways can I help to curb that?
I think when people feel helpless, it's overwhelming, right? It's like, what good is this, in the world and my community, Why am I dealing with this? When actually, if you can give someone the ability to look at it at a different lens and do something, that's empowering.
And when we start with the most impacted, everybody will benefit. What are things that you can do to impact our community? Like if you are investing in homes, how about buying a home in the West Louisville and building it up? How about if you're starting a business? How would it be to have your business headquarters in West Louisville like Passport has done?
Our thinking is the more ambassadors that we have, the more infectious our violence prevention strategies will become.
I love Louisville and whatever we can do to make it a better place.
It's great that people are coming together to learn and take these tools back to their places.
Next time we see something that we can prevent or help, we'll be able to get in there and do something a little more educated than I knew before.
It's not okay to just be quiet. It's not okay to just be in the midst of the world, but it's about making a change and making 2018 the year of change.
One can touch one, then one touch another. And who knows who else it'll touch.
From teens to grandparents, residents in Louisville are working to create a safe, healthy, and vibrant community. If you'd like to be the one to make a difference and join them, call 574-1903 or go to louisvilleky.gov. Thanks for watching this episode of the 502 Report. Until next time, take care.
Metro TV, a public service of Louisville Metro government.